afternoon, everybody. We're just going to dive right on in because you see the title of the show, you see the highlight of the show, you see the thumbnail of the show. We are going to talk about conservative influencers getting swatted last night. My name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Loud Majority Live. We're going to let the room populate a little bit before we jump into the meat and potatoes of it all, because I've got a lot to say. And in this show today, I'm going to use some choice words. In this show, I'm going to say some things that are going to upset some people. I'm going to say some things that people are going to get rather upset about. So, guys, do me a favor. Once again, we're going to let the room populate a little bit before we dive into the meat and potatoes of it all. Once again, my name is Kevin Smith. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Share it out. Obviously, the big story of the day, as I share the show everywhere, as I put it into all of my X groups. If you're watching on X, do me a favor, please share this. If you're watching on Rumble, please do share it out. We're going to jump right in because it's going to take a while. You know, we've all gotten death threats. I could post hundreds of them. They have no impact on me. Like a buddy of mine who told me a while back when we got our first death threat, Sean could probably tell you this, and I'm going to speak on him in a minute, but somebody sent us one of these t-shirts. Covered in red paint once when we had an office in Deer Park on Long Island. That was kind of weird. Death threats in the mail, death threats on the phone, death threats in Facebook chats and comment sections. Last night was different. Last night was very different. I want to talk about everyone that it happened to. Huge movers and players in the America First movement. Nick Sorter, Gunther Engelman, Mike Engelman, Cat Turd. People I consider friends. Good people. People who did not deserve to have what happened to them happen to them. Make no mistake. And I just actually watched the opening of Sean's show. If you haven't watched it, make sure you guys give it a watch. He was a lot more magnanimous than I'm going to be about it. In no uncertain terms, without any superfluous adjectives, last night somebody tried to kill my best friend. Somebody called in a threat to his home where his wife lives, hoping that something would go wrong so that the police would kill him. That happened last night. Sean and I have been through a lot together, man. Been through a lot, but nothing quite like that. When he texted me saying he got swatted, and I've heard people getting swatted before. Tim Pool's been swatted a couple dozen times. Marjorie Taylor Greene got swatted. It just hit home. It hit home just a little bit harder. You know, Sean and I came up together in this, starting the Loud Majority together. It just hit a little bit differently last night. Other friends of mine, Nick Sorter being one of them, they sent the police to his home where his father and his sister live. Cat Turd, who's a huge internet personality. Many of you probably know him. Many of you people probably follow him. But It's just different. Why is it different? Somebody out there was so threatened, was so enraged by these people that they felt the need to attempt to kill them. I want to make it very clear. I'm not being dramatic. I'm not my inability to speak about this is not for like dramatic effect or sometimes you just don't know what to say when something happens. But my message today is not going to be to necessarily this audience, because I know that you guys are not included in this. I'm gonna cut a video right after the show for the people out there who are not ready for what's coming, who aren't ready for what's coming, because I can promise you this is only going to continue. This is only going to get worse before it gets better. You want to have it out with me politically? You want to debate? You want to call me out? I got no problem with that. Sean, Gunther, Nick, Cat Turd, dozens of other ones. I got no issue there. My problem is not so much this, but what's the next step? When this stops working, what will they do next? What will they do next? Moreover, to elected Republicans out there, to these fucking cowards who have remained silent. Shout out to Mike Lee for calling this out. Shout out to Kash Patel. Shout out to Pam Bondi. Shout out to Dan Bongino for calling this stuff out. Brianna Morello and Tory Brooke have been all over it. My question is, have you heard of it on Fox? Has there been a press conference with leading Republicans about this? Has there been any formal condemnation of this? The left goes out and bitches and moans if you call a man a woman. Words are violence. Supporting terror groups is free speech. Elected Republicans have done nothing. But Kevin, Reagan's 11th commandment, thou shalt not speak ill of another Republican. Yeah, well, how about Reagan's 12th commandment, that when somebody tries to kill the hardest workers in your movement, you open your mouth about it? I'm pissed off. I'm real pissed off. Nick and I are friends. I've met Gunther a couple times. Sean and I mean, at this point, I don't think I need to go into our friendship. Heard a lot about Ukraine today. I heard a lot about, I don't know, whatever benign bit of bullshit the legacy media wants to talk about. Nothing on the fact that someone, I don't know who, and I pray to God that the police find these people before we do. Chase Geyser, yes, Chase Geyser, he was swatted as well. I don't want to leave him out. Where are these people? There's a lot of Republicans out there who owe their jobs, who owe their careers, who owe their reelection to some of the names I just mentioned, to some of the people who have been swatted before. Because make no mistake about it, Joey Pags, yes. He's another one. Make no mistake about it, guys. There are elected Republicans who are not ready for what's coming. Look at what's happening. You have crazy Hamas supporters taking over the first floor of Trump Tower. You have right-wing personalities every single day getting swatted. Attempted murder. That's what that is. For those of you who don't know what swatting is, swatting, now that the room is filled up, what a SWAT is when you call in some kind of a threat, a hostage situation, a murder, something like that, hoping that the SWAT team shows up to a person's house, one thing leads to another, and the cops kill them. And as Sean said on his show, look, if he goes too close to the door too quickly, some sheriff deputy gets a little too skittish, who knows what happens? And that's what these people are hoping for. That's what they're hoping for. The violence is ramping up. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. You think this summer you're not going to see more violent riots all across this country? You really think that's not going to happen? You really think there are not going to be mass protests taking over our streets like we saw following the overdose of George Floyd? Yeah, I said it. You know, I was speaking at a local Republican club the other day. Shout out to the Lynbrook Republicans. I was speaking there the other day, and somebody in the room asked me, Kev, why do you go so hard? Why do you go so hard against Republicans? And I told them, because for my entire life, Democrats have punched Republicans in the face, and Republicans have yelled, please stop hitting me. Those days are over. Those days are over. So I'm going to ask every single one of you following the show today to please call your elected representative. I don't really care who they are. I don't care if you call a school board member. I don't care if you call the President of the United States, right the way up the top, all the way to the bottom in elected office, and ask them why they are not doing something, anything, to call this out. Because sure as I'm sitting here today, someone's going to die. Someone is going to die because of this. Now, I trust Pam Bondi, I trust Kash Patel, I trust Dan Bongino more than both of them combined to at least attempt this, to at least attempt to do something. A lot of elected Republicans, they like to come and they like to beg for help when it's election season. Not a single one of them is willing to put their neck out on the line. Not a single one of them is willing to say, this cannot continue. And do I have any faith that they're actually going to stand up and do something? Of course not. Come on. Come on. It's not my first rodeo. Do I have any faith in that at all? No. At least pretend to care. At least pretend to care. Because guess what? Election season is right around the corner, boys. And you know damn well you're going to be begging for our help. I've never been more pissed off than I am right now. And not because somebody got... This is personal to me. And like I said, Sean's handling this a hell of a lot better than I am. Maybe I'm loyal to a fault. I don't know. But like I said, I could go on about this all day, ranting and raving and pissing and moaning. But I want to be clear about something. Everybody who was involved in this, Cat Turd, Nick Sorter, Gunther, Mike, Sean, they're handling this a lot better than I would. They're handling it a lot better than I would. And as I said to lead off the show, whoever did this, whoever keeps doing this, you better hope the cops find you before we do. I think in the last 48 hours and the lack of condemnation, it reminds me. So The Godfather is my favorite movie, for anybody who doesn't know. My favorite movie, The Godfather comes on, the rest of my day is over. I think most people from New York can agree it's probably their favorite movie. And my favorite part of The Godfather is when Michael is talking to Tom Hagen. And Michael has to come to the realization that Tom is not ready for what comes next. And he looks him dead in the face and he says, "You're not a wartime consigliere. You're out. You're not ready for what's about to happen." So if you are an elected Republican, if you're a party leader, if you are anybody with any sort of power or any sort of influence over anything, and you have the balls to say a sentence like, "I'm a bit radical. I'm a bit loud. I'm a little rough around the edges." It's because last night somebody tried to kill my best friend, and you didn't do shit about it. You didn't even care. You think why? Because you're the leader of some Republican committee somewhere that somebody gives a shit about you? Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. You're the king sitting on the smallest throne in the world. They're coming for us. For everybody who has been a follower of the Loud Majority or watches LFA TV or any combination of that, this is what we go through every day. Every day to bring people the news, every day to keep the fight going, every day fighting. You think I want this? Sometimes I was saying to a buddy of mine the other day, he doesn't pay attention to politics at all. None at all. He could probably tell you who the president is. That's about it. I told him I was jealous of him because he doesn't have to deal with this. You know, I thought the most surreal moment I was going to have in this was about a year ago. The Smithtown Democratic Committee staged a protest against me on the steps of Town Hall. And that's a surreal moment. That's like a surreal thing. You know, there's a feeling that comes with that really can't be described. You know, you see Elon Musk protests, you see Donald Trump protests. But for 80 people to get up and hate you enough to protest you, I thought that was the most surreal feeling I had until I got that text message last night. Now, I could do the whole show on this. I could. I could talk about what great people these guys are. I could talk about how when you spend 10 years calling somebody a Nazi, what do you think is going to happen? When you say that people are a threat to democracy, what do you think is going to happen? None of it's true. But these people and their better angels in the media have worked people up into a frenzy where they actually think they're out there trying to kill Hitler. Where they actually believe that Trump supporters are the devil. What do you think is going to happen? And I'm telling you right now, sure as I'm sitting here, somebody's going to die. People already have died. There was a kid, I think it was in Montana, about a year ago. Some crazy Antifa member ran him over with a car because he thought he was a Trump supporter. A reporter for InfoWars was just gunned down outside of his house. And my message to a lot of these people, a lot of these leaders, these patriot leaders, these self-appointed useless people, you're not ready for what comes next. Because this is only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. Guys, we're going to move on because, like I said, I could do this all day long, but I'm just getting myself worked up. So I just want to say congrats. Thank God to the sheriff's down where Sean lives. I'm not going to say where, but for doing the right thing, for making sure they had cooler heads. I'm furious right now. I'm really pissed off. Really pissed off. Guys, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button wherever you're watching. Share the video out all over the place because, look, it's not going to be on the mainstream. You think CNN's going to cover this? The most trusted name in news? You think the Washington Post, where democracy dies in darkness, you think they're going to cover this shit? Nope. But, God forbid there was any member of the right who does anything violent. Well, now we've got to have lockdowns. Now we've got to throw the book at people. A bunch of fat leftists take over the New York State Capitol. That's not an insurrection. No 20 years in jail for them. Why do I push so hard? Why do I fight the way I do? And it's because apparently, judging by the response of many elected Republicans, if I don't, who will? You're certainly not going to do it. But be sure to come begging me for help when it's election season. That way I can tell you to... right to your face. Guys, we'll be back in 1 minute. Old Glory Bank.
When big banks decide who gets access to America's financial systems and who doesn't, who do you think gets left out? Middle Americans who proudly wave their pro-America values. Cancel culture in banking is corrosive. It limits your participation in a vibrant, free market economy. Fortunately, you can fight back. You now have the opportunity to invest in the bank that's investing in a fair American banking system, one based in freedom. Ownership in Old Glory Bank, the pro-America online bank, is here. Old Glory Bank is a full-service FDIC-insured bank that's the alternative to overreaching, un-American big banks. We stand for privacy, security, and liberty. We stand for freedom, family, faith, and the flag. We stand for all the values you stand for, and for the values big banks can't stand. So help keep banking in the hands of Main Street, not Wall Street. To invest in Old Glory Bank, go to oldglorybank.com.
Guys, head on over to oldglorybank.com. That's oldglorybank.com. Support the movement. Support the parallel economy by going to oldglorybank.com. That's how we fight back against the big banks, by going to oldglorybank.com. Once again, guys, sorry for the emotion, sorry for the language, sorry for all that. I try not to make things about myself on this show. I try to make it about the news and about what's going on and keeping everyone informed. But last night things really hit home. And it's funny too, because I was actually in the middle of watching a live stream from a politician, this piece of shit named Rob Trotta on Long Island. And then I get the text that somebody, Rob Trotta, by the way, who tried to have me thrown in prison, for all the local people out there who don't know, who, might know who that is, tried to have me thrown in jail. I get the text and I freaked out a little bit. I got to be honest with you. I freaked out a little. But let's move on to the news, guys. Do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Once again, share the video out all over the place. I'm going to put the Rumble live chat up onto the screen right now. You guys can see I'm a little worked up today. Do me a favor. Share it out. Let's go to the other live chat. Marissa, Diane, hello. Donna DiBiase, what's going on? Jeanette, Fatima, how are you? RBS Sponge, how are you? Andrew Pollock, what's going on, Andrew Pollock? Good to see you in the chat, my friend. Patricia Good, how are you? Steph, what's happening? Diane, how are you? Good stuff. Mary Ellen, how are you? I'm going through big live chat today. Sirloin McGroin, how are you? Everybody who shared the video out, I want to thank you for that. Marie, how are you? JB, always. Jeanette, very good, very good, very good. I think we got everybody serenity, peace, and comfort watching on YouTube. What's up? Michelle Lepresti. Oh, Michelle Lepresti, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. Shout out to everybody watching all over the place. Once again, for those of you who don't know, we got big numbers on the live show today. Some people have been asking where the show is. I'm live every day from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern, but Facebook doesn't allow you to see that. Just so you guys know. Sometimes it doesn't let you guys know. But yes, we have never stopped doing the show. We still continue to do the show every single day. So keep it locked in here from 1 to 2 p.m. every single day. Booyah. Let's go. Let's dive right back on into the news. Because, we talk about this sort of left-wing violence and how so many people are so unwilling to call it out. There was a story a couple days ago where, and it got almost no attention at all. There was a street preacher in California, I believe it was in California, who, and look, you want to be a street preacher, that's fine, just stop yelling at people. Stop yelling at people on the street. There was a street preacher who was on the street, and some crazy tranny, yeah, I said it, some crazy tranny pulled a gun on them, stuck a gun directly in their face. Did we hear of this anywhere? Did anyone cause a stink about this? Did anyone on the left have any sort of issue with this?
Harder, but you need to try less being like somebody you're not and start to humble yourself and be somebody that God made you to be. He didn't make a man to be a woman. He made the man to be a man. He didn't make the woman to be a man. He made the woman to be a woman. And this is the truth. What are you going to do? Come attack me now?
I should.
Hey, man, it's up to you. If you want to pull that on me, well, God bless you. So you just threatened me with a gun. You just pulled a gun on my face. Man, Lord have mercy on you. This means that you don't even know who you are. Nope, I still love you. Even though you pulled a gun on me, I still love you. I still bless you.
It's a viral story. Everybody gets their news from X now. Everybody knows that. Journalists, the laziest people on planet Earth, don't actually go out and report news. What they do is they report on the tweet about the news. Nothing. Nothing from anybody. The left continues their violent streak up and down all over the place. Yesterday, we showed you the live protests that people were in Trump Tower bitching and moaning because a Hamas supporter, because a terrorist was arrested for terrorizing. Spoiler alert, that's what terrorists do. They terrorize people. Will the left call that out? No, because that doesn't further the movement. You understand? The left never stops pushing. They never stop, which means we have to push twice as hard. We have to be twice as loud. And for my local audience here, for my Long Islanders, for my city people, I want you to know something. There is going, and I'll say it out loud. I don't really care. There's been reports that people like Tim Walz and Bernie Sanders and the rest of the gaggle of idiots are planning a nationwide speaking tour. You can bet your ass that when they come to Long Island, we're going to fill that room. We're going to fill that room. When I spoke at the Lynbrook Republican Club the other day, and I'm going to be speaking at Republican clubs all over Long Island over the course of the next several months, we all need to be reminded that just because we won, it is not the time to get complacent. We won, let's put our feet up. No, now is the time to work even harder. Now is the time to register more voters. Now is the time. All gas, no brakes. Why? Because they're not stopping. That I can promise you. They're going to keep sending out their death threats. They're going to keep swatting people. They're going to keep up their nonsense. We cannot let up. Not 1 inch. And if you've watched this show for any length of time and you know what we do here, you know we are about action. We are about getting involved. We are about pushing forward the movement. Because guess what? If you're not winning in politics, you're losing. I'll fill every arena that these idiots go to. Attend your local meetings. Go to your school boards. Do the things we did during COVID. Do the things that we did that worked. That is how we keep winning. I said it the other day at the Lynbrook Club, and I'm going to say it when am I going? April 7th at the Bethpage Republican Club. If you wait for someone else to do it, no one will. And I've got a big announcement, particularly for our New Jersey viewers, coming very, very soon. Very, very soon. About that. Because as I said, you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid of what you believe in. Put that Trump flag outside your house. Fly that American flag. Put the decal on your car. As a matter of fact, I'll do you guys one better. Since we have such a big audience today and we're talking about standing out, anybody who goes to loudmajorityusa.com today and orders anything off the website, I will send you a free Loud Majority USA decal for you to put anywhere you want. You guys can go to loudmajorityusa.com and check that out. Anybody who buys anything on the website today, I'm going to send you a free decal because it's time for us to get louder. It is time for us to get out of the shadows. It is time for us to do the things that we need to do to be successful in this movement. So anybody who goes to loudmajorityusa.com and purchases anything today, I will send you a free Loud Majority US decal for your car. I got one on my car. It's everywhere I go to let everybody know exactly what we're doing and where we're at. And why? Because bravery breeds bravery. Courage breeds courage. If you are willing to put your name out there, if you're willing to put your face out there, if you're willing to stand up for the things that you believe in, it will give others the liberty and the freedom to stand up for them too. A lot of people ask me, they go, Kev, you do these car rallies. What do they accomplish? I'll tell you what they accomplish. When we put 5, 10, 20,000 people on the road, it lets other people know that they're not alone. I bet you that guy I just showed you who had some crazy tranny stick a gun in his face and had nobody cover it felt alone. We're not going to do that here. We never will. This is a family. It's a community. And sure, for some of the local people you know, I've been stabbed in the back by a lot of people that I would consider, well, sisters. But we're not going to stop. We'll never stop fighting. You know why we'll never stop fighting? Because the prize is worth it. What we are looking to achieve is worth it. What we are looking to get out of this is worth it. The future of the last best hope of man on earth. Because as President Reagan said, we will not sentence our kids to take the first steps into 1,000 years of darkness. Remember when I said I wasn't going to be dramatic? Okay, maybe I lied a little. Guys, hit the thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place because there is some news that I want to make sure that I get to by the end of the day today. I'm fired up. I hope you guys are too about all this. It's just frustrating. It's because sometimes I know people do feel like they're on an island by themselves when they get no help from their electeds, when you know, they got a problem and nobody's listening. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you guys out when you need it. So, once again, guys, hit the thumbs up button, share the video out all over the place. Mike Lindell.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com. Promo code LOUD. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code LOUD. You guys remember throughout the show today how I kept telling you things were going to get worse before they got better? Well, in real time, Senator Thom Tillis of, I believe he's in North Carolina, released a voicemail he got where someone threatens to kill him. And we're going to play that for you right now. Give me 1 second, real quick.
Good afternoon, Senator Tillis.
That's how Northern Warbeck think about you southern white trash. That's what the ones who won the Civil War think about you. Do you understand that inferior bad genes, inbred stupid you and all your people?
Yeah, Thom Tillis, afraid of death threats. Then get the out of office.
I would like to talk to Thom Tillis and ask him why he thinks it's okay for him to take money from this nation and it over. Why does he think that he can tell his employers to go themselves every goddamn day, all day long, and sell his goddamn nation out and his employers over. Don't he know that his employers can take a axe handle and cave his head in?
And I suggest, well, you're going to have to be very careful about going out in public or talking to anybody that's real, that's an actual American, because we hate you.
If I didn't have a broken back in Southern California, I would spend the rest of my life in federal prison for a chance to cut your throat.
I'm excited.
Well, I've got a
announce that
feeling.
we're
Oh, sorry
having
about
our
that.
first
I've got a feeling you're going to spend the rest of your life in federal prison with your broken back. I've got a feeling if you really do have a broken back when you go to federal prison to that last guy, you're going to have you're going to have something else broken in. So it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican influencer, a right-wing influencer on Twitter. None of that matters. Right the way up to a sitting member of the Senate. And I want to be clear. When AOC gets death threats, when Rashida Tlaib gets death threats, I call it out. When people go to members of the media's homes, Supreme Court justices, members of Congress, they've got their wives, they've got their small children involved, I call it out. When Ed and Brian Krasenstein and Harry Sisson, when they got swatted, I called it out. Where are they? I'll be honest, Ed and Brian called it out. Some people, very few one-hand people, count them on one hand people, called it out. Where's the rest of them? Where's the rest of them? Those are just a few of the death threats that Tom Tillis probably has. I bet you if he went through the entire cycle of all the crap that he gets on a day-to-day, that would be nothing compared to what some other members get. I would love to hear Lauren Boebert's. I bet you, being that she's a woman, her death threats are probably a little bit more graphic than the one Tom Tillis just got. And where is the left? Nope. They're out protesting Israel for no reason. They're out bitching about Medicare for all. Need any more proof of this? Do you need actual proof? Look at Luigi Mangione, the guy that killed the United Healthcare worker. How many people on the left went, well, he had it coming because he's the CEO of a healthcare company. He had it coming because he used an algorithm to deny claims. And if you watch this show at all, you know damn well I hate the insurance industry whatsoever. That doesn't mean you go and shoot somebody in the back like a coward. One of my lights just went out. It's probably not a good sign. One of the bulbs just popped on my lights. So I'm going to be doing this show from the dark. How many people on the left supported violence when it was Luigi Mangione? A lot of them. Any person, and you go back and you watch, because the Luigi Mangione trial is going to be starting relatively soon now. You watch this sentence get said on a regular basis by people on the left. I'm not saying he should have killed him, but when someone says, I don't think X, but the I don't think doesn't matter. Some people said they heard the light pop. It's pretty funny. There should be consequences for this sort of stuff. And unfortunately, there isn't enough of it. I'm real fired up today, guys, and I'm really happy that everybody tuned in to the show. Today, I had a lot of... We got about 10 minutes left. I had a lot of stuff I had to get off my chest. You know, it's just different. It's just different when it happens to somebody you know. And Sean handled this, as I said, a lot more magnanimously than I did. Yeah, I blew out one of my lights. I don't know what the hell happened there. Gonna have to fix. Yeah, what are you gonna do? What's the line from 300? Our arrows will darken the sky, then we will fight in the shade. I will do the show in the shade. What are you going to do? What do you do? Guys, once again, hit that thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Let's get the live chat up on the screen. Chris Olivetto, what's going on? Watching. Good to see you in the show. Good to see you in the live chat. Mike Owens, how are you? Jeanette, always. Hello, hello. Let's get the live chat up there as we're rocking and rolling here today, guys. Head on over to lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. Check out Jeremy's shop. That's the best way to support this network and everything we've got going on over here. Guys, go to lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. Also, once again, for anybody, yes, Diane, we are planning one right now. We are planning one right now for, when the hell did I say? I'll let you know. The beginning of April. The beginning of April will be our next car rally. Make sure you stay tuned for that. I think we're going to do, I'm not going to tell you the exact details because people that hate me watch this show, and none of them have any original ideas of their own. Of course, I'm talking about everybody that goes to that piece of shit warehouse. But I'll make sure that I let you guys know about that. One more group of people who do absolutely nothing but line their own pockets. Yeah, I've been waiting to say that for about 2 years. Guys, head on over to LoudMajorityUSA. Oh, hey, look at that. The light came back on. Here we go. Guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. As I said, anybody who buys anything today, I will send you a free Loud Majority US sticker in the mail. I will send you guys a free Loud Majority sticker in the mail for your support. Oh, I just got one. Let's get rid of the live chat so I can thank somebody in real time. Robert Spoonseller. From Georgia, the Peach State. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what your name is on Rumble, but thank you very much. If you're in the chat, say hello. Pew, pew. Pew, pew. There we go. Giddy up, let's go, guys. So, once again, just back to the swatting stuff. Kesh Patel says he vows to crack down on this sort of stuff. He put out a tweet the other day saying, I want to address the alarming rise in swatting incidents targeting media figures. Patel said the FBI is aware of the dangerous trend, and my team and I are already taking actions to investigate and hold those responsible accountable. Saying this isn't politics, weaponizing law enforcement against any American is not only morally reprehensible, but endangers lives, including those of the officers, and it will not be tolerated. We fully commit to working with local law enforcement to crack down on these crimes. More to come. As I said, Chase Geiser of InfoWars, he got swatted. Nick Sorter, Joey Pags, Mike Engelman, Walter Kurt, Sean, a lot of people. A lot of people got swatted, so I want to thank Kesh Patel for coming out and saying, and at least saying something about it. Bob R says, I'll buy something right now if Kevin autographs it. I'll send you, Bob, you buy something right now and I will send you an autographed hat. How does that sound? I will send you an autographed hat. Boom. Look at that. Bob, that's just for you because you said it. But everybody else, you'll get the free decal. So, it turns out, with a little bit of pressure, just a little bit of pressure, sometimes people, when pressed, can do the right thing. And we're getting breaking news out of Columbia University following a lot of these continued, I won't even call them anti-Israel protests, because these protests are not about Israel. Okay? You don't have to support a foreign government. However, you do have to be anti-terrorist. I think we can all agree that should probably be a rule. Columbia University has begun expelling and revoking diplomas from many of the students who occupied Hamilton Hall during the anti-Israel protests. Once again, I'd like to make it very clear. Being on college and feeling self-righteous indignation is part of the college experience. Everyone did it, and it was all great. And you remember Berkeley in the 60s? Rah, 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 all that crap. No problem there. You can't take over a building and hold janitors hostage. You can't do that. You can't do that. And it is great to see that Columbia, following at least some sort of pressure, is beginning to take action. Now, as much as I would love to see many of these people be arrested, straight up arrested, one thing that it seems like Columbia is doing now to actually take a little bit of to go back at them for this is revoking their diploma, which, I gotta be honest with you, that might be better than jail. That might be better than jail. Here's why. Can you imagine going $250,000 in debt, student loan debt, and then have the diploma you paid for? Because you didn't earn it, you paid for it, let's be honest here. You know, college has become such a joke now that, I mean, my diploma, I didn't earn it, I bought it. You know, I just paid for it and I went to the classes and they let you pass. But you spent $250,000 in 4 years of your life, $250,000 in 4 years of your life to only have your diploma revoked. So now if you apply for a job later in life somewhere, oh, thank you, Muhammad, where did you go to college? I went to Columbia University. And then that job calls Columbia and they go, oh yes, they went here, but we revoked their diploma because they held a janitor hostage inside of Hamilton Hall. You may remember some of those protests. You think that person's getting hired anywhere? You think that person's getting hired anywhere? Just screwed them for the rest of their lives. Some students who participated in the occupation of Columbia University's Hamilton Hall in 2024 during the anti-Israel protests have had their degrees revoked, have been expelled or suspended from school. All right, Columbia, I'm listening. This from the Post-Millennial. In the campus-wide email, Columbia said that the Judicial Board issued sanctions against students who occupied the hall, according to the Associated Press. The school did not include how many were expelled or suspended or had their degrees revoked. Each student had to appear for hearings led by Columbia's Judicial Board. All right, I'm listening. Gil Zusman, the chair of the Electrical Engineering Department and a member of the school's task force on anti-Semitism, said that finally demonstrating that breaking university rules has consequences is an important first step towards getting back to the core mission of research and teaching. That seems fairly reasonable, considering your job at college is not to induce social change. Your job is to learn. I'm here to learn, everybody, not to protest with you. Go on with the chlorophyll. Come on, Billy Madison. Great movie. In late April, agitators took over Hamilton Hall. We know that. We saw that. NYPD were able to handle the chaos at some point. The university's president then wrote a letter to the NYPD saying, "We believe that while a group who broke into the building includes students, it is led by individuals who are not affiliated with the university. The individuals who occupied Hamilton Hall have vandalized university property, and they are trespassing." Yeah, which is why they should have been arrested straight away and not given 2 weeks to build their encampment, to build their settlements. Hello, McFly. This should not be complicated. I mean, you would think some of the people, not all of them, you would think some of the people, I mean, it is Columbia University after all. These are supposed to be the biggest and brightest and smartest and the people that are going to go on to save the future of the world. You would think some of them might have at least remotely a head on their shoulders, might understand the concept of consequences, considering many of them are going to go on to be like judges and the managing partner at Goldman Sachs, and many of their journalism students are going to go into the field of journalism, as Columbia Journalism School is literally the premier journalism school anywhere in the country. You go to Columbia J School and you will work at any institution you want. That is not hyperbole. That is literally how it goes. You go to Columbia J School and you can go anywhere you want. You can work anywhere you want. You can do anything you want. You would think some of them would have a little bit of integrity in that field, but apparently not. Apparently they are just starting to figure out that when you break the law, there's consequences. You want to protest? I go. Protest whatever the hell you want. Protest me. I didn't piss and moan when they protested me. Nobody broke the law. I did bitch and moan that one guy who calls himself a patriot led the protest. His name's James Robisak. I know none of you have ever heard of him. I wouldn't Google him if I were you. But, yeah, he claims to be a Republican, but he actually helped lead a protest against me for no discernible reason whatsoever. Go ahead and ask him about it. Feel free. But, I'm on fire today. This hour went by real quick. I played like 2 videos today. Wow. What a day. Guys, it's 2 o'clock. I want to thank everybody so much for sticking with us here today. RB Spas. No, you're good. You're good. Don't worry. Everyone's getting their decal. If you go to loudmajorityyusa.com, you will get your decal today. And Bob R., you're going to get a signed hat. Because I promised you that, Bob R. You're going to get a signed hat. So I'm going to check out right now and go take care of all that stuff. Guys, I will catch you all back on Monday. Hopefully none of my friends get swatted in the meantime. I hope everybody has a lovely, lovely weekend. I will catch you all back live on Monday. Until then, everybody, have a good weekend. Hit the thumbs up button. Did we get to 300? We got pretty close. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay loud.